The clowns underestimated Mike Tyson, but they paid the consequences. Intro. Mike Tyson isn't called the Iron Kid for nothing. Since his debut, fight after fight, he delivered a series of great moments to boxing fans that, even today, haven't been surpassed. To relive some of those moments, I bring you a compilation of fights where Tyson demonstrated why becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history was destined for him. Get comfortable, because you're about to dive into a whirlwind of aggression and savagery like never before. Luckily, we'll only be spectators. Mike Tyson versus James Bonecrusher Smith. The year was 1987, and Mike Tyson had just been crowned the youngest heavyweight champion in history by the World Boxing Council. But with such recognition came bigger challenges. One of them took place on March 7th when he stepped into the ring at the Las Vegas Hilton Outdoor Arena to face James Bonecrusher Smith. Being the 7-1 favorite, this fight is fondly remembered by Iron Mike's fans as the first time he was introduced with that nickname. Smith not only had the age advantage, being 13 years older than Mike, but also an 11-inch reach advantage and 6 inches in height. This fight was part of HBO's Heavyweight Unification Tournament, as Smith was also defending his World Boxing Association heavyweight title. Mike entered the ring with an undefeated professional record of 28 victories, 26 of them by knockout. Meanwhile, Bonecrusher came in with a record of 19 wins, 14 by knockout, and 5 losses. The judges for the bout were Dalby Shirley, Jose Juan Guerra, and Lou Tabat. With Mills Lane as the third man in the ring, the fight began. Fight summary. From the first round, Smith's fighting stance was a surprise. Instead of bombarding Tyson as expected, he tried to hold him, which resulted in a point deduction by the second round. Bonecrusher's tactics frustrated Mike, leading to shoves between rounds as Tyson tried to provoke Smith's anger.
The wind of that at the commentary position right against the ring apron. No reason to suspect he's not the Iron Man.
However, the intensity shown in those moments rarely translated into the actual combat. Some sparks flew at the end of the first round when Tyson threw a left hook long after the bell.
And the stare from Tyson, and Bonecrusher saying, "What's this all about?"
At the start of the second round, Mike opened a cut over Smith's left eye with a headbutt. A minute later, Smith's troubles worsened when Lane penalized him for continuous holding. By the end of this round, the lack of action drew boos from the crowd of nearly 14,000. In the third round, more holding from Smith and frustration from Tyson ensued, who couldn't land a good combination. By this point, post-bell activity seemed to become routine. Bonecrusher began to retreat in the fourth round after Tyson landed a right to the head, but that was the only significant blow of the round. After rounds 5 and 6 proved uneventful, the crowd finally had a moment of excitement in the 7th round when Tyson hit the canvas, though it was just a slip.
Well, that was almost hit it.
In the 8th round, once again, Lane had to deduct a point from Smith for excessive holding. The fight dragged into the final scheduled rounds with Tyson looking for a fight and Smith evading him, causing the boos to continue. To break the monotony, Smith landed a punch in the last round, but did little else. The final bell ended the miserable fight in which both fighters had been forced to participate.
And I think Tyson did. And this will keep going after the bell.
It could have been worse, it was later said. It could have been scheduled for 15 rounds. When the referee took the center of the ring, Iron Mike was declared the winner by unanimous decision. Mike Tyson versus Donovan Ruddock. Tyson and Ruddock have a history. Their first meeting took place on March 18, 1991, in the ring at the Mirage Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. It was a heavyweight elimination bout with Jerry Roth, Chuck Giampa, and Dave Moretti serving as judges. While Mike entered the fight as the #1 heavyweight contender for the World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and International Boxing Federation, Ruddock closely followed, ranked second. With Richard Steele as the referee for this encounter, the fight began. Fight summary. From the sound of the bell, Mike came out of his corner with the aggression that characterized him in those days. His hard work quickly took its toll.
Well, he's ready for it. He threw his bomb. All right. Cut which missed. The big question, can Ruddock withstand the cut? It's done something. It's stopped Iron Mike. What our associate minister lets them know. Tyson hitting afterwards.
as in the second round, Ruddock found himself on the canvas, forced to reconsider his participation in the fight. Despite getting up and continuing, in the third round, Ruddock faced another setback, hitting the canvas once again.
Good shot. He just doesn't quite get there. There's a left by Ruddock. What a counterpunch.
Tyson's violent offense continued through the rounds until the seventh, when a deadly barrage of punches sent the giant Canadian wobbling, marking the end of the fight. Faced with the tragic scene, Steele decided that Ruddock couldn't take another punch. Thus, Iron Mike was declared the winner by technical knockout at 2 minutes and 22 seconds of the 7th round.
Sounded like he hit a drum. Again, the crowd groans.
Relentless attack by Tyson.
Just then,
Tyson has Ruddock on the rope. Now the right combination. Steele steps in. Is it up? It's over. And Mike Tyson has defeated Razor.
Mike Tyson versus Donovan Ruddock II. A few months later, on June 28, 1991, Ruddock had the chance to redeem himself by fighting Iron Mike once again. The fighters were once again called to the ring at the Mirage Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. For this heavyweight elimination fight, Dalby Shirley, Chuck Giampa, and Art Lurie served as judges. Tyson remained the #1 heavyweight contender for the World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and International Boxing Federation. But now, Ruddock could only boast of being the second-ranked heavyweight contender for the World Boxing Council. With Mills Lane as the referee for this new encounter, the fight began. Fight summary: Tyson came out of his corner with the confidence of having beaten Ruddock before, and quickly reaped the rewards.
third man of the ring. He has one of the best lefts in the business. Good counterpunch by Tyson.
In what seemed like deja vu, Mike sent Ruddock to the canvas in the second round. Ruddock managed to continue fighting, but in the fourth round, yet another setback came. Once again, Tyson's violent offense sent him to the floor. Ruddock's frustration only grew as the rounds went on. Although he made it past the 7th round, he was penalized in the 8th for hitting after the bell. Mike, on the other hand, also seemed frustrated that the fight had gone on so long. In a rash move, his attacks on Ruddock led to some low blows, resulting in point deductions in the 9th and 10th rounds. With both fighters unable to finish each other off, the fight reached its conclusion.
Oh, nice counterpunch by Tyson. Another right hand. Hard. Tyson digging to the ribs. Winning what round?
When the announcer took the center of the ring, Iron Mike was declared the winner by unanimous decision from the judges. Mike Tyson versus Michael Spinks. 3 years earlier, on June 27, 1988, Mike Tyson stepped into the ring at the Convention Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey, to face Michael Spinks. This was one of the most iconic matches of the decade, billed as Once and For All. It was a fight between two undefeated fighters, each with a legitimate claim to the World Heavyweight Championship. Additionally, Spinks was defending his The Ring Heavyweight title for the 4th time, while Mike was defending the International Boxing Federation Heavyweight title for the 4th time, the World Boxing Association Heavyweight title for the 6th time, and the World Boxing Council Heavyweight title for the 7th time. Therefore, the winner of the bout would gain exclusive possession of the title. The judges for the fight were Rocky Castellani, Jon Stewart, and Eva Shane. Mike entered the ring with a perfect record of 34 wins, 30 of them by knockout, while Spinks followed closely with 31 wins, 21 of them by knockout. With Frank Cappuccino as the 3rd man in the ring, once and for all, the fight began. Fight summary: 21-year-old Tyson shone in the ring. When the opening bell rang, he charged forward and threw a left hook that caught Spinks high on the head. At that moment, the ring champion wasn't thinking of a peaceful retreat, but rather of grabbing hold of Mike with his arms. In their first clinch, Cappuccino intervened after noticing one of Mike's glove laces resting on Spinks' throat. Moments later, Spinks, who now appeared to be just a challenger, tried to back away but had his head snapped back by a hard left uppercut. Still reeling from that first blow, Spinks was then hit with a short, spinning right hook that landed just below his heart. At that point, the ring saw its champion fall to his knees. It was the first knockdown in Michael Spinks' professional career.
Michael Spinks has to keep moving because every shot... uppercut landed.
With Cappuccino counting, he got back on his feet by the count of 4. Still, Frank counted to the regulatory 8 and asked if he was fit to continue, staring into his eyes. When the fight resumed, Tyson returned to his aggressive stance. Spinks attempted to defend himself with a right hand, but it was too weak and his movements too slow. Tyson threw a left hook at shoulder level over Spinks' uncertain hand. The clash of these two forces sent Spinks' head forward and down, where Mike caught it with a right hand that arced at waist height and connected squarely with the jaw. Spinks' eyes rolled back and his legs trembled. With his arms stretched out, he collapsed to the canvas. He tried to get up as Cappuccino counted, but he fell onto his right side. By the time Cappuccino reached 10, Spinks' head was resting against the bottom rope. In just 1 minute and 31 seconds, Tyson defeated the, until then, undefeated Michael Spinks by knockout. Mike Tyson versus Trevor Berbick. Another heavyweight champion who failed to successfully defend his title against the young knockout machine, Iron Mike, was Trevor Berbick. To relive this bout, we must go back to November 22, 1986. That night, in the ring at the Hilton Hotel in Las Vegas, Mike Tyson challenged Trevor Berbick in what would be his first defense of the World Boxing Council heavyweight title. The fight was billed as Judgment Day, and the crowd of over 8,800 people knew they were about to witness history. In the worst-case scenario for Mike, his epic undefeated streak would come to an end. With Mills Lane as the third man in the ring, Judgment Day took place. Fight summary. When the bell rang, Iron Mike went into beast mode and charged at Berbick. Although the first round was highly explosive, the real damage to the reigning champion didn't come until the following round. In it, Iron Mike's relentless offense left Berbick stumbling around the ring as if he were caught in a cosmic loop. It all began when Mike knocked Berbick to the canvas with a fearless series of punches that ended with a powerful left hook. Berbick crashed to the mat but quickly got up, signaling to Mills Lane, who was closely watching, that he could continue the fight.
Championship of the world. Trevor Berbick and Mike Tyson. Tyson goes to work right away, and he's got Trevor in trouble, and he's done a count as he steps right up the counts to 4 and 5 and 6 and 7.
Unknowingly, Berbick was only signing himself up for an inevitable and irreversible punishment. It was evident that the champion was not in good shape. Berbick's inability was exposed as he tried to tie Tyson up in clinches to stop his aggressive drive toward a victory that already seemed promised. Even Berbick's desperation was clear when, in the middle of a break, he threw a punch at his challenger. That bold move earned him nothing but a stern warning from Lane.
Here's that belt. Wild on the break, and Mills Lane warns Trevor about it. Trevor trying to do all he can, but what he's not doing is holding off Mike with a left. And you see the light left cage. Instead he goes to the body downstairs, catches him with the right hand.
Ironically, his end came at the close of the round. Suddenly, a deadly left hook from Tyson landed on Berbick's temple, and after a delayed reaction, he collapsed onto the seat of his trunks. Berbick was not willing to lose his crown so easily, so he truly fought to get back on his feet. However, all he did was stumble toward the ropes near his corner, where he collapsed helplessly. Berbick tried to straighten up, his arms flailing. The scene became even more chaotic as Berbick staggered back to the center of the ring where he had initially fallen, only to crash back down onto the canvas.
Bangs the body. Wow, with that uppercut is Tyson. Catches him with the right left hook, and he goes down. He's able to get up from this. His legs may be shut. They are. As Trevor back in the rope, I don't know if he's going to be able to get.
Determined not to give up his title, the champion once again tried to stand, stumbling toward a neutral corner. By that point, Lane's very lenient count had already reached 9. Against all odds, Berbick had gotten back up from the canvas at that moment. Lane didn't hesitate to quickly examine Berbick, only to realize that sending him back into the fight would be like leading him to slaughter. With nothing else to do, Lane hugged Berbick and stopped the fight. At 2 minutes and 35 seconds into the second round, 20-year-old Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history by defeating Trevor Berbick by technical knockout. It's said that when he got into the ring, Iron Mike told his team, "I am the youngest heavyweight champion in history, and I will be the oldest." Do you believe in the idea that if you manifest something, it comes true? Mike Tyson versus Larry Holmes. And before I let you go, I have one more shocking fight to share. Once Mike became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, he had to prove he was worthy of the title's pride and defend it against the long list of challengers eager to take a shot at the great Iron Mike. On January 22, 1988, the unlucky challenger who stepped into the ring at the Atlantic City Convention Center in New Jersey was Larry Holmes. Tyson, at 21 years old, was 17 years younger than the 38-year-old Holmes, who had been out of the ring for 21 months. This fight would determine whether experience outweighed the wild spirit of youth. Mike had to defend his International Boxing Federation heavyweight title for the second time, his World Boxing Association heavyweight title for the fourth time, and his World Boxing Council heavyweight title for the fifth time. With the legendary Joe Cortez as the third man in the ring, the fight began. Fight summary: Tyson, already the undisputed champion, was the aggressor throughout the first round. As soon as the bell rang, he came out of his corner with a clear offensive plan, determined to make Holmes regret even thinking about taking his belts. By the second round, Mike had gained enough confidence to allow Holmes to breathe and throw some punches of his own, though Holmes never posed a real threat.
Questions if in fact Larry can nail Tyson, how long can his legs stay strong? There's a lot of pressure on him.
The third round was total domination by Tyson, who proved that the vitality of youth's wild spirit was stronger than years of experience. However, it wasn't until the fourth round that Mike cornered Holmes and stopped him once and for all. With a powerful right hand, Tyson put Holmes in serious trouble. The right landed squarely on Holmes' chin, sending him crashing to the seat of his trunks, right in Tyson's corner.
Continue that round after round. Oh, a big right hand, and down goes.
Cortez counted to 4 before Holmes got to his feet, grabbing the ropes. Cortez counted to the full 8 and watched Holmes shake his head as if trying to clear his thoughts. When the fight resumed, the wounded veteran let go of the ropes to face Mike, who was already moving toward him. Tyson threw punches left and right, trying to land the final blow. Suddenly, another strong right hand from Mike sent the fading veteran crashing against the ropes and back down to the mat. This time, Cortez counted to 5 before Holmes got up. When the fight resumed, Tyson seemed determined to finish him off once and for all. The young knockout machine threw punch after punch, repeatedly snapping Holmes' head back while ringside assistants were screaming for the fight to end. Cortez allowed the fighters to continue as Holmes tried to escape, with Tyson chasing him. Inevitably, another strong right hand from Mike knocked Holmes down, and as soon as his almost lifeless body hit the canvas, Cortez waved the fight over. At 2 minutes and 55 seconds into the fourth round, Tyson defeated Larry Holmes by technical knockout.
Be hanging on! Now with the right hand, the left hand! He's gonna hang on! Or they'll stop the fight! Down he goes!
After the defeat, Holmes didn't fight for over 3 years. However, he returned in 1991 and remained active until 2002. Closing. If you've made it this far, thank you. Remember, the best way to support my content is by leaving a like on the video. Which of these incredible Tyson victories was your favorite? What other fight do you think I should revisit in a part 2 of this video? I'll see you in the comments. Iron Mike, throughout his professional boxing career, proved to be a true knockout machine, but there was no deadlier moment than when he was freshly primed. In today's video, we'll relive some of Mike's matches where he left his opponents in agony and their trainers begging for mercy. You won't believe the last one. Stay until the end to test how strong your stomach is while witnessing tragic scenes of regulated torture within the rules of the ring, where the strongest prevails. Cryos. Tons, the cunt Mike Tyson versus Pinklon Thomas. We begin this journey of pain and despair for Tyson's opponents with a stop on May 30th, 1987. By that time, Mike had already made history as the youngest heavyweight champion ever. He was defending the WBC heavyweight title for the second time, and for the first time, the WBA heavyweight title. For this new challenge in his career, the contender was none other than Pinklon Thomas. In the ring at the Las Vegas Hilton Outdoor Arena, Thomas felt he had a good chance of dethroning the newly crowned monarch, but reality couldn't have been further from his perspective. With Carlos Padilla as the third man in the ring for a scheduled 12-round match, the bout began. Pros. Tal fight summary. From the very first round, Tyson displayed his ferocious nature. His ruthless offense nearly disabled Thomas early on, though it wasn't enough to secure victory.
You may see that Mike Tyson still works. He still throws punches.
It's not to unload that jab.
Give him angles. Don't think
By that as he comes in, he feigns left, he feigns right. There's a big left hand by Tyson, but Thomas is all right.
Well, I stated earlier, the key to this punch for Pinklon Thomas is the jab. He has not thrown the left jab to keep going.
His legs are not rock solid at this moment either. Cut under the left eye of Thomas. There's another left hand.
Thomas's jab tactics, along with clinching as a last resort to buy time in the ring, forced Tyson to scrape for a way to position himself for the decisive blow to end his opponent's agony.
And that's what he's trying to keep Rooney's told.
Started to say swelling on both cheeks. There's a good jab again.
For the champion, the solution came abruptly in the 6th round. A relentless right hook to the body hurt Thomas, followed by a devastating right uppercut to the chin. This was one of the young Knockout Machine's favorite punching sequences, and one of the most damaging to his adversaries. However, what ended the Pink Man was a diabolical left hook straight to the head, leaving him in serious trouble. When the left hook landed, Thomas stumbled backward with a bloodthirsty Tyson still in pursuit. Tyson unleashed his relentless fists once again, hammering his already broken challenger with lefts and rights until he collapsed onto his back.
Trouble again, and now Tyson moves in for the kill. 2 uppercuts and a left hand, and a right hand behind it. Thomas trying to hold on. Serious trouble, and down he goes.
Thomas's eyes were glassy, and blood streamed down his face. Padilla leaned over him and began the safety count. By the count of 9, Thomas's trainer, Angelo Dundee, had climbed into the ring, signaling frantically for the fight to end. At 2 minutes into the 6th round, Mike Tyson was officially declared the winner over Pinklon Thomas via a devastating technical knockout. Mike Tyson versus Larry Holmes, continuing Iron Mike's path of terror. Our next stop takes us to January 22nd, 1988. By this time, Tyson had already defended his titles once more, adding another jewel to his crown, while challengers continued lining up for a chance to dethrone him. For the second defense of his IBF heavyweight title, the 4th of his WBA heavyweight title, and the 5th of his WBC heavyweight title, the challenge took shape in the legendary Larry Holmes, a warrior both in body and spirit. At just 21 years old, Tyson was 17 years younger than the 38-year-old Holmes. This fight was expected to be the ultimate test of whether youth's vitality outweighed experience in the ring. However, the odds didn't seem to favor Holmes, who had been out of the ring for 21 months. Choosing Tyson as his return opponent was arguably one of the biggest mistakes of his professional career. With Joe Cortez as the 3rd man in the ring, the 12-round match was set to begin. From the first second of the fight, Tyson, already recognized as the undisputed champion, reaffirmed his dominance by taking an aggressive stance.
Larry trying to box him. Can that left jab keep him away? So far, Tyson is coming through it. Tyson showing no respect so far, boring in the way he always does. Larry not an offensive fighter in this the first round.
During the first 3 rounds, the young Knockout Machine dismantled Holmes to the point of stripping away his fighting spirit.
Referee. One of the big questions, if in fact Larry can nail Tyson.
However, it wasn't until the 4th round that Tyson's fearsome fists delivered the coup de grace. A powerful right hand put Holmes in serious trouble. The hellish punch landed squarely on his chin, sending him crashing into Tyson's corner.
Holmes cannot continue that round after round. Oh, a big right!
Cortez started the count, and Holmes was on his feet by 4, clutching the ropes as the mandatory 8 count was completed. Shaking his head a couple of times to clear his senses, Holmes stepped away from the ropes, only to face Tyson charging at him once again. Euphoric, Tyson unleashed lefts and rights, relentlessly searching for an opening to seal Holmes' fate. Suddenly, another devastating right hand sent Holmes bouncing off the ropes and collapsing onto the canvas. Stubbornly, he was back on his feet by Cortez's count of 5. As the fight resumed, Tyson seemed determined to finish things. He threw punch after punch, some landing so cleanly that Holmes' head snapped back dramatically. At this point, Holmes' corner could be heard pleading for mercy, shouting for the fight to stop. Yet Cortez allowed the nightmare to continue as Holmes tried to evade Tyson's relentless assault while the champion pursued him. Another powerful right hand sent Holmes crashing to the canvas, and as his lifeless body hit the ground, Cortez waved the fight off.
Come inside, there's the left, there's the right. Larry's ready to go again. He's hit with the left hand. He should be hanging on. Now with the right hand, the left hand. He's gonna hang on, or they'll stop the fight. Down he goes. He is knocked out. Larry's hurt. It's all.
At 2 minutes and 55 seconds into the 4th round, Mike Tyson was officially declared the winner over Larry Holmes via a dramatic technical knockout. Tyson retained his titles, but in the opposing corner, the recovery from this brutal episode was anything but easy. Holmes did not fight for over 3 years following this loss, eventually returning to professional boxing in 1991 and retiring for good in 2002. Saaters Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno. More than a year later, it was Frank Bruno's turn to endure torment in the ring. On February 25, 1989, Bruno challenged Mike in a do-or-die bout for his titles. This time, Tyson wasn't just defending the WBC, WBA, and IBF heavyweight titles, but also the prestigious Ring Magazine heavyweight title. In the ring at the Las Vegas Hilton Center, a 12-round display of skilled boxing was promised, but it took less than half that time to reach its tragic yet thrilling conclusion. With Richard Steele as the third man in the ring, the course of history continued to unfold. From the first round, Tyson was hailed by the sports press in the following days as a true professional fighter. His energy was compared to that of James Jeffries, who set the record for the fastest knockout in history against Jack Finnegan in 1900. Bruno hit the canvas almost before the timekeeper could drop his hammer. After getting back to his feet, the fight turned into a real clash royale.
Bruno has all the pride of England standing for him. He got tagged again by a right hand. He's trying to hang on to Mike. All the questions about distractions have been answered as Tyson attacks. By catching him in the first round, he's nailed. The right hand catches Bruno. Left hook. Bruno looks ready to go.
The end came in the 5th round when Tyson landed a pair of short but devastating uppercuts. At that moment, Bruno's nose began to bleed. In retaliation, Bruno managed to land 2 punches to Tyson's ribs, but seconds later, the countdown to his defeat began.
Throughout a good portion of the fight against Al. Bruno was caught that time, and Tyson knows it. Tyson trying to attack now to finish him off. And Bruno's in big trouble now. He's ready to go. Tyson gives him room to come off the ropes. Scores with the uppercut. Lands a big right hand. He hits him with a right hand. Bruno trusts he can. He's still in big trouble. The uppercut catches him. The right hand catches him. He's really being hit now.
First came a powerful left hook to the jaw, sending Bruno against the ropes near Tyson's corner. There, the champion pounced on his challenger like a predator on its prey. Bruno, already defenseless, endured punches as forceful as a lumberjack striking down a tree. After 4 or 5 powerful blows to the head, referee Richard Steele stepped in.
As the big right hand lands, Tyson a fighter cannot be saved by the bells. He's got him in big trouble. If he doesn't answer it, Richard Steele has moved in and has stopped the fight.
By the time the fight was stopped, Bruno's trainer, Terry Lawless, was already stepping through the ropes to save his fighter. At 2 minutes and 55 seconds into the 5th round, Mike Tyson completely shattered Frank Bruno's aspirations and was declared the winner of the bout. Mike Tyson versus Trevor Berbick. Have you ever heard the legend of Trevor Berbick and how he was knocked out in just over 5 minutes after stepping into the ring against Iron Mike? This moment dates back to November 22, 1986, the night Mike Tyson made history by becoming the youngest heavyweight champion ever. But that's already a spoiler. In the ring at the Hilton Hotel in Las Vegas, Berbick faced the daunting task of defending his WBC heavyweight title for the first time. But with Tyson as his challenger, it was nothing short of a suicide mission. With Mills Lane as the third man in the ring, the beginning of the end for Berbick's brief reign was set in motion. Fight summary. Mike came out in the first round hungry for victory. Despite setting the pace and cornering the champion, the real damage came in the second round.
Otto here, standing toe-to-toe is not the way. This is a poor fight plan. Oh, the right hand gets him. Notice the lazy left. Watch Tyson load up with left and right. You get the idea that Mike, as soon as, a light right hand, but the left hook is Berbick, and Tyson clips him with the left hand. Look at this, combination, and Berbick ready to go.
Tyson, the young knockout machine, ruthlessly sent Berbick to the canvas with a devastating series of punches that ended with a powerful left hook, leaving the champion no choice but to fall helplessly onto his back.
Championship of the world, Trevor Berbick and Mike Tyson. Tyson goes to work right away, and he gets Trevor in trouble, and he's done.
To everyone's surprise, Berbick got up and signaled to referee Mills Lane that he was fine to continue. Perhaps this was the best display of resilience in his career. But Berbick wasn't fine. His struggle became evident as he tried to tie Tyson up in clinches to stop the deadly offensive. His desperation showed when, during a break, the champion resorted to a dirty move, striking Tyson. Lane, of course, couldn't ignore the foul and issued a warning. Ironically, Berbick's end came near the end of the round. Tyson landed an incredibly violent left hook to the side of Berbick's head. After a delayed reaction, the champion fell to the canvas.
Trevor trying to do all he can, but what he's not doing is holding off Mike with the left. And you see the cage. Instead he goes to the body downstairs, catches him with the right hand, up landed. See Mike just parring Bonecrusher Smith, straight jab time. Bangs the body, wow, with that uppercut is Tyson. Catches him with the right left hook, and he goes down!
Berbick, dazed and struggling, searched for his fallen crown while attempting to rise. The scene turned tragic as he stumbled toward the ropes near his corner and fell again. Still making desperate efforts to stand, his arms flailed uncontrollably. Berbick staggered back toward the center of the ring where he had originally fallen, only to collapse once more. They say there's nothing more dangerous than a wounded animal, but Berbick proved he couldn't even handle himself. Once again, the former champion tried to get up, stumbling toward a neutral corner. By this point, the spectacle had shifted from sensational to pitiful. It was sheer agony. By the time Lane's count reached 9, Berbick had risen from the canvas. Lane took a quick look at him to see if he could continue, but instead of letting the fight go on, he embraced Berbick, holding him back, and declared the fight over. At 2 minutes and 35 seconds of the second round, Mike Tyson made history by becoming the youngest heavyweight champion ever. And what an unforgettable ending it was. Partiza closing remarks. If you've made it this far, thank you. The best way to support my content is by leaving a like on this video. Which of Tyson's legendary beatdowns was your favorite and why? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.